Are you a manufacturer and distributor of fire protection systems, construction materials of fire protection products? Then this is the right webinar for you. Because in this webinar we will deal with the accreditation area according to EN ISO IEC 17025. In order to be allowed to distribute fire protection systems, construction materials of fire protection products in Europe, these products must pass through a corresponding approval test. As part of this procedure, the products must be subjected to the fire tests by authorized testing laboratories, such as IBS. With the accreditation standards, Accreditation Austria has created an instrument to provide manufacturers with security in terms of quality, in execution and results at accredited testing laboratories. Keep it simple. The basic idea of this standard is to ensure that test results are credible, accurate, comparable and useful for operators. The Quality Management Manual of the testing laboratory specifies the necessary requirements for personnel, confidentiality, independence, impartiality and integrity. The accreditation standard also places very high requirements on the maintenance and care of the measuring instruments. This is the only way to ensure that the devices do what they are supposed to do and that the test results are credible, accurate, comparable and useful for operators. To ensure the reproducibility of the tests and the results, the measuring instruments are calibrated regularly. As you can see, measurement technology plays a key role in the quality of a testing laboratory. In the next chapter, we will now take you into the world of our measuring instruments. You want to know more about the world of measurement technology in fire testing? In this chapter, we will introduce you to the various measuring devices and show you the advantages of perfectly calibrated measurement technology for your test results. What would tests be without measurements? In order to make visible what exactly happens in and around the various construction products and fire protection systems during a fire, a large number of technical aids and measuring systems are needed. These may well fill in an entire car.
We are able to offer the flexibility you need thanks to our mobile measuring equipment. Our experts always perform the necessary tests using our accredited, calibrated measuring technology.
Let me show you the world of measuring technology using IBS as an example. The requirements of the accreditation standard EN ISO IEC 17025 apply to IBS not only as a testing laboratory and testing facility, but also as a calibration laboratory. Specifically for the temperature elements, the central measuring device when it comes to fire tests. These temperature elements may and must be calibrated by IBS itself at regular intervals. The calibration interval can be defined by the user. In our case, calibration is performed every 2 years. Procedural instructions specify how the calibration has to be carried out. For example, the measured values have to be within the specified tolerance. In addition, there are special procedural instructions on how measurement uncertainties have to be determined and included on the basis of metrological traceability. The procedure is different for the rest of the measurement equipment. It is sent to an accredited calibration laboratory to ensure correct measurements. Quite a lot of effort, isn't it? That's right. But which advantage do you have as a customer? This effort is necessary to ensure that you get the most accurate and reliable measurement results. Only in this way the tests can be carried out properly, and in the end we know exactly what your product is capable of. However, for fire tests at IBS, for example, there is also the option of using measurement technology from other test laboratories or the customer's own measurement technology. In this case, however, it must be noted, this measurement technology must also be accredited calibrated, and in these cases, a calibration certificate must be submitted to IBS. According to that, we perform reference measurements on site and confirm accuracy. Well maintained is half the battle. Measuring equipment must be maintained and cared for and should be stored safely. This is the way to ensure that they are actually ready to use the next time whenever they are needed. We will now briefly introduce you to the most important measuring technology of the IBS.
The central tool of our work in the field of measurement technology is the so-called data logger. This serves as the interface between all sensors and the PC-based software for further interpretation and visualization of the collected data. In addition to temperatures and pressures, wind speeds, and the weight of water consumption can also be measured and recorded through the connected sensors. The compact and robust design allows mobile use by our experts. Temperatures are measured precisely using special thermocouples. Depending on the test setup, these sensors can be attached in various ways. The thermocouples are directly connected to the data logger, which records the signals and makes them available for further analysis. When it comes to tests related to firefighting and fire extinguishing systems, the measurement of water consumption is of great importance. Therefore, ultrasound technology is being used. Our experts ensure on-site compliance with standards and thus provides reliable test results.
Now that you have learned the most important facts about our measurement technology, we will present our extensive service portfolio in the following chapter. You want to introduce a new fire suppression system to the market? As an accredited and notified body, we will lead it to the necessary approval testing. Or do you want to introduce new construction materials or components to the market? We offer the necessary construction material and component tests for fire closures, glass walls, smoke closures, fire dampers and smoke dampers, penetration seals, load-bearing and non-load-bearing sealings, smoke and heat control systems, and many more. Let's take a closer look at the first part, the approval of new fire suppression system. We support manufacturers in testing and optimizing their product in full-scale fire tests. After 2 complete tests per scenario, the manufacturer receives an accredited test report in accordance with EN 14972 and an approval certificate. The proof of performance of the system during the approval test at IBS includes a complete functional test after verification of all required output, operating and alarm functions. This ensures that there are no leaks or faults. Our testing basis is EN 14972, fixed firefighting systems, water mist systems in parts 1 and the following parts, and the FM 5560 approval standard for water mist systems. Keep it short. We accompany and carry out full-scale fire tests, create test specifications on the basis of normative requirements, and prepare representative fire tests also for special applications. Do you operate on the international market? Wonderful! So are we, from South Africa to the Middle East or overseas. We carry out approval testing for products for various markets. For example, a low-pressure water mist fire suppression system for oil-cooled transformers up to 132 kV was tested at a test site in South Africa for one of our customers from Poland. Stationary or rather mobile. Decide yourself whether you would like us to carry out your test on a stationary basis at the test site at our research partner Zentrum am Berg. Here you can carry out extensive full-scale fire tests with the IBS on extensive open areas, but also in tunnels, highway and railroad tunnels on 1:1 scale. For the test measurements, each full-scale fire test is equipped with our accredited calibrated measurement technology. Alternatively, we can carry out the test on a mobile basis at your site on an appropriate test area. In this case, we carry out the test directly at your site with our mobile accredited calibrated measuring equipment. The second major area of our service portfolio is construction material and component testing. Therefore, IBS offers a wide range of corresponding tests. The components are tested at our testing facilities in Linz in relation to their fire resistance over an appropriate period of time. Here as well, the tests are carried out using European and national test methods in accordance with the applicable requirements. Among other things we test fire closures, smoke closures, fire dampers and smoke dampers, load-bearing and non-load-bearing sealings. and many more. You would like to know in detail for which test methods for fire suppression systems IBS is accredited? I will now show you our accreditation scope directly on our homepage, ibs-austria.at. You can access the page with our accreditation certificates and scope of accreditation right by clicking on the menu item About Us and the sub-item Accreditation and Notification. Further on, please click on the button Certificates and Verification. By clicking on Testing Laboratory Accreditation number 0042, you will find the confirmation of Accreditation Austria issued by the Federal Ministry that IBS is accredited as testing body according to EN ISO IEC 17025. This is considered as an official document among all accredited bodies worldwide. Furthermore, you will find our current scope of accreditation as a testing laboratory in the left column under Accreditation Scope and the tab Testing Laboratory Links. From page 17 and the following pages, the standards EN 14972 Part 1 for fixed firefighting systems, water mist, and their subsequent parts are visible. At ibs-austria.at you will find all further information on our testing laboratory. Within the scope of our accreditation, we have already been able to successfully complete a number of projects. Now, I may present some of these tests in the following chapter. The experience and the know-how of the experts at IBS form the central basis of your testing success. Here are two reference projects that show what can be done. For one of our customers from Poland, a low-pressure water mist fire suppression system for oil-cooled transformers up to a size of 132 kV was tested by using a mobile accredited calibrated measuring system at a test site of one of our customers, partners in South Africa. The measurement equipment was carefully packed and transported to South Africa. One side, the equipment was attached to the spots planned and intended in advance. We also carried out a test monitoring for our customer in Austria, directly on site. The customer provided the facilities and set up the test itself. A scenario in an office was simulated. The standard to be applied is EN 14972 Part 3, Stationary Suppression System Water Mist Systems, Part 3. Test protocol for offices, schools and hotels. What did we have to do? We checked the environmental conditions in advance, but also the test setup itself. Afterwards, the tests had to be done exactly according to the standard specifications. Following to this, each of the tests, we assessed the fire damage and compared it with damage caused by conventional sprinkler systems. After evaluating all available data and documents, we prepared the test report. This was based on the ISO IEC 17025 accreditation standard and EN 14972.